to myself again. But it's the only way you're ever gonna learn. You look back and it's all in the past. I'm dwelling on the thoughts I cannot say to you. If I don't say the words, then maybe it's not true. And it feels alright when they come and say
Welcome along to Rock and Rob's album review on NUFC Matters. Good morning, Rob. How are you?
Morning, Steve. I'm very well. And you?
Good to see you. You're rocking your Gateshead top today, mate. A good result for the boys yesterday into the semi-finals of the Cup.
Yeah, it's something. Not doing very well at all just now. Third bottom, the relegation zone, but a couple of games in hand. So fingers crossed. You know, it went to penalties. It was 4-3. 14 penalties or 5-4. I can't remember what one it was. So, yeah,
Doesn't matter how you get there, Rob. You're in the semi-finals, and they can take something from that. And I've got to be honest, just watching Gateshead and seeing the results, you know, they tend to play better when they're playing the better teams. When the pressure's on, when they're playing teams around them, they seem to struggle a little bit, you know. And it's a strange situation that sometimes happens.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I wish Hearts could do that. Up their game against Rangers and Celtic, but it's twice now we've been beaten in 4 days by Celtic.
Yeah. Okay, mate. We're here to talk music, though, not football. Which album are we looking at today, pal?
Today is The Clash London Calling.
Classic.
Now, you'll notice I don't have the actual album with me. It's one of those stories I went to look for it and lent it to someone and never got it back. So it's been re-released. I will buy it again. So unfortunately, I don't have the real one here today, but this is our we're talking about. Another band that I sort of didn't really touch on heavily growing up, but they were always there. I mean, there was a pub in Edinburgh called Sneaky Pete's, and I'd always put the song on London Calling. This was our album, the follow-up album, the 1978 album, Given Enough Rope. Now, I was listening to it on YouTube, the album, and I could hear, again, when you're older, it's that thing that hearing influences by other bands. I mean, I could hear punk, rock and roll, reggae, rockabilly, and I always wondered that with Joe Strummer. He always, a lot of time, had grease back hair, and he looked like a rockabilly type guy. And then you'd hear parts of ska movement, that kind of stuff in his music. So I'm now wondering if this is the first ever post-punk record. So I thought the influences are there. You know, Joe Strummer, Mick Jones, the primary songwriters. Again, listening to it, it's a double album. And I thought, it's some songs are amazing. I've not heard before. There's some songs I haven't heard before. And I would like to say this one today is from a subscriber who asked me to do this review for him. So thanks for putting me on the spot with it. But yeah, but again, they went on tour because I thought, why did it sound like that? Why is there such a variation? There's a lot of cover songs on the album. Quite a few, to be honest. They went on tour supporting Bo Diddley, Sam and Dave, and the Cramps. Cramps I really, really like. They're a personal favourite band of mine, the Gun Club. That sort of swampy, punky blues type of music. So they went on supporting these bands. The only reason they've done that was because these were the artists that they thought influenced them growing up. And they thought they want to, you know, support these bands. The other people thought, what are you doing that for? There's a certain road you should go down, just pure English punk. So they went there with their influences. But this one as well, because of who they were supporting, people were asking questions. So this is the only album that they rehearsed on alone. Nobody was allowed in the room for people, again, to point fingers and say, why are you doing this? You should do that. So they went in the room, cut themselves off from everything else, got on with their influences. Also brings out again, your own style, crossover of influences, that's natural. Brilliant song, Brand New Cadillac. Now, I suggest, Steve, even you today, take 4 minutes of your day to listen to this song. Don't know if you've ever heard it before. It's a cover by Vince Taylor. It's 1968. Stunning song. It's a song I've never ever heard before. I've never ever heard of it. Put it on. It's one of those feel-good driving songs. Again, you wouldn't think, like, that's doing this. What for? You know, but again, I can 100% hear the cramps on it. Definitely. The guitar and tiny guitars. Songs like Human Fly, You've Got Good Taste, two of my favourite Cramp songs, and I can definitely hear it in it. But listening to that as well, but again, there's another song, Revelation. I hear specials in it. I've noticed that as well. When I hear the specials, I do like the specials as well. And I have some friends saying to me, why do you listen to that? That's not your sort of thing. But again, going back to the Cramps, specials, all these bands, I mean, specials before they were called specials, well, I can hear early Clash in them. You can hear naturally how the late Terry Hall, what he would have been listening to as well. The drumming again, outstanding. Also, I did read up on, I love things behind the scenes, like the recording studio things. Now, the Clash's daily routine, or weekly routine, was 18 days a week rehearsing, was going to the pub, rehearse first, going to the pub, hooligan gangs, pub, rehearse. Said that because of the hooligans, a hooligan army following thing, you know. It molded them as people for the personalities, plus take that back into the rehearsal studios as well. So, going back to rehearsals again with this album's a guy called Guy Stevens, which I had heard of, very erratic, and he had a few issues of himself, few demons, shall we say. So, to get the best out of the band, he locked them in the room. Everyone's setting up as you do. So, he would go around pouring wine into amps, pouring wine into pianos, throwing cymbals about, you know, that sort of thing to create an anger, a negative atmosphere. But the band, especially Paul Simonon, the bass player, said it was the best atmosphere he had ever worked in because it brought out the best in them. Now, I think that's a great thing. That's how it worked, bring out the aggression. Another thing, the song London Calling again takes me back to that pub in Edinburgh, Sneaky Pete's. It's still there, but it's changed. It's more of a trendy place. It wasn't back in the day, now back in the 80s. That was staple on it. And I thought, well, that must be about London. It's London Calling. It must be how it's like to live there. But I didn't know it was post-apocalyptic. So I didn't know that. And then you look back at it, that's what it's about. I thought it was about how they lived in London at the time. Again, the song Guns of Brixton was about the Brixton riots. Again, brilliant song. It's quite a pop song. I think London Calling charted at number 11. Guns of Brixton, not so sure. I don't even think that was a single. I'm not 100% sure. Again, this is off the cuff. But again, another one, song Train in Vain. Train in Vain song is amazing. Again, wasn't that today? Wasn't that Train in Vain? Again, it's more of a pop song, which it is. I think Nick Jones sung that. If you remember the Big Audio Dynamite band, E equals MC square, you'll remember that. That'll take you back.
Yeah.
I think early 90s. That sort of thing. They wanted this album, it was a double album, but they wanted to do twice of a single album. They did run out of time. I think there's a track on it that wasn't listed on it. I think it was Train in Vain listed on the set list, track listing, ran out of time. So the way around it for getting it in a single price was it was a double album. One of the albums was the first bunch of songs. The second one got released as a double, but bonus 12-inch single containing 9 extra songs. That's how they got away with that. Because back then, you know, it's all about cost back then. You know, and you don't have fans off like I think what happens nowadays. I've noticed that in some of my stickers contains 3 EP, contains 3 12-inch singles, that sort of thing. And again, Hall of Fame in 2003. I think there was some Revolution Rock. You know the song by Beats International, "God Be Good to Me"?
Oh, yes.
If you listen to that, that's what the song's from. That's what they sampled it. "God Be Good to Me." In fact, it's not. It's a Guns of Brixton song. Guns of Brixton. If you listen to that, it's "God Be Good to Me." Beats International, because again, I remember that in the jukebox. Played it during the week again, and I thought, oh, I've heard that before. And it is literally the same track through it. You know what I mean? You've probably all got that tune in your head now.
Yeah.
And what you were doing at the time when that sort of song came on. Again, Mick Jones, Big Audio Dynamite, Hall of Fame, and it just, again, the cover. Right, there's your cover. Now, Steve, do you know what that was influenced from?
But is it a Who influence?
No. So again, going back on their influences, which is like rock and roll sort of thing. This is the original first album of this singer songwriter you maybe heard of. This is the first, is it?
Ah, Elvis. Right. Okay, got you.
And again, I didn't realise that at the time because again, I was doing a bit digging. What's the cover from? Again, the picture on the cover, if you could put that up for me, Steve, if you can, it's the photographer caught this at the moment. Didn't like the picture because it was blurry. The reason Paul Simon was hitting his guitar is because the crowd weren't participating, shall we say, back in the day, and I think that was in New York or LA, and in the States somewhere. That guitar is now hanging up again. Can't really remember, but to me it should be in the Hard Rock Cafe in Newcastle. But it's, yeah, that's iconic. So I mean, this is the one off it, but it's just so iconic when you look at it. I do like the Clash album. I think that's outstanding. Give them enough rope. I have never heard London Calling. I've been listening during the week. I think that must be a sign for me to go and buy the album again. So yeah, that's me covered it for now. But again, the two songs, Revolution Rock, go and listen to it today, and Brand New Cadillac. Two songs, Steve. I'll take you about 6 minutes of your day.
Have you ever seen them live?
No, I've not. No, but I'm when I played at the 100 Club, when you go in, it's as it was, the red plastic chairs, and there's pictures all over the wall. There's pictures of Joe Strummer. There's, and to be even in that environment, you get goosebumps. The hairs the back of the neck go up, and it's overwhelming. It's just that thing. It's like a 10-inch stage by history. I mean, knowing the Clash played there, and it's still as it was. It was a blues and jazz bar originally, but I haven't played there. But I've been in the room where they played in their heyday at the height of the Clash, and I've been on the same stage, played on the same stage as them, and I'll take that.
Great stuff, mate. As always, we want to know how Garen Quell's getting on at Hearts. Any updates?
Yeah. He got, I don't understand, he got 10 minutes yesterday again. He's getting 10 minutes. Looking at him, I don't know, it's like what they're doing in training. For me now, I'll be putting him in half an hour or a full second half. You can't, when you're getting beat 3-0, I wouldn't put him on for 10 minutes. They can't work miracles. I'd give him a half now. I'd give him the first half and say, show us
what you can do.
Yeah, he did hit the bar last week against Celtic as well, the crossbar, to be fair. But it's like everything. If you're not getting the service, you're not getting the goals. But he looks lively. He's very, very lively. Looks for space, looks for runs. If he's not getting the ball, he can't do much about it. So again, I would give him a lot more time. I'd give him 45 minutes. Happily. And Newcastle again are playing tonight. Wolves. Is it Wolves tonight?
Wolves, 4:30, mate, yeah.
Yeah. So I'll be watching that today. So hopefully, Gateshead won yesterday. Hearts got beat. We need Newcastle. And I think Newcastle, as it stands now, have got 2 games in hand. They'll have one more game in hand after today. I think Liverpool got beat by Bournemouth. So again, get these 2 goals.
Yeah. Okay, mate.
Above Liverpool. No, it'll be above Liverpool, I think.
Yeah, well, I mean, we can go above Liverpool with a win today, but on top of that as well, we've got a couple of games in hand on Spurs. We've got to play them at home as well. So interesting times. Newcastle have got to win today, Rob. That's a must. And then they need really to get nothing less than a point next week, but 3 points at Forest would put Newcastle back into the position that they've been in most of the season. But we will wait and see. Interesting team selection coming up from Eddie Howe as well, I am sure. We will see whether it's based on loyalty or whether it's based on training and performances. But I look forward to that. As I look forward to your next show next week. But obviously, I just want to ask you as well about the band. Any updates?
Yeah, we're a brilliant rehearsal during the week. We've put on another 5 songs. Another Skids on Admission, Stiff Little Fingers, Depeche Mode, and The Ruts. Again, the next couple of days is going to be edits of the films. So we're up to about a 2-hour set just now, about 19 songs. Really, really good. Again, there's a lot of interest. We want to create a bit of a buzz first, you know, and then just go out gigging. Just get some dates up, start gigging. Locally where I live, there's a lot of interest. Up Aberdeen as well, down that way. I'd love to play Newcastle, 100%, my hometown.
I'm sure you will, mate. I'm sure you will. Okay, Rob, thanks as always for a wonderful show. Look forward to catching up with you next week, pal. Have a great week and enjoy the football today. Take care, pal.
Cheers, mate. Bye.